attention because of its concept of videos. It's fun videos that you will also teach you a lot of facts from the game.
Yeah, indeed. With also this top 5 skills learned to needed to learn to actually progress in Trackmania, and you guys in the chat are memesters upon memesters with Kaku's quoting that Virtual invented blindedness. Oh my god. Anyways, indeed the blindfolded gameplay seems to be working quite well for him. Moving on to our second nomination for Streamer of the Year, one of the mainstays in the Trackmania streaming community for how long has it been? Like over 8 years now? He's again a contender for Streamer of the Year. That is none other than Spam.
Yeah, once again, Spam is a contender for the Streamer of the Year title. He streamed a lot of Trackmania during 2020 and played many competitions at a professional level, such as TMGL for Alliance, but also a lot of fun events like Khaki is Khaki. Spam also organized some events, for example, Viewer Cup, like the
If you would
Battle of
go
the Weeps.
by like
But the
hours
most
of
important
streaming,
one is
would probably be
definitely the endurance race,
Yeah.
an endurance event that we organize every
easily. Like,
He's a
how the fuck does
Trackmania
he
streamer
does he
doing a
stream
lot
so
of
much?
different Trackmania content
It's so
to
weird.
entertain his viewers.
Like
Indeed,
10 hours a
ranging
day.
From map discoveries to tutorials, whenever there is
he lives
something that is
in
needed,
USA, so he
and
probably,
Cup of the
I don't know,
Day,
maybe
competition,
lost
and
his
so
job
on.
because of
Moving on
COVID,
to our
I guess.
third
That would be my
is also
best
a
guess.
mainstay in the
Wow.
Trackmania streaming scene.
But I don't know.
Possibly one
Would
of the
also
most
be kinda sad.
beloved guys
Yeah.
in the
I think that
Trackmania
would
scene
be
as
the
well, and
only
an endless
plausible
inspiration for memes. You guessed it, it's none
idea
other
that I
than
would
Mr.
have.
Streamer himself, Riolu.
Like whatever
as
you
nominee
do,
number
like
3.
12 hours a
Riola
day
is one
is
of the
just,
most active streamers in
insane.
Trackmania. He
Yeah.
usually hunts
Like if it
world
was 8
records on
hours,
his
he would
stream,
still have
test maps made by
enough time
viewers,
for
or
some other stuff. But
participating
12
in Cup of the Day.
like a whole day.
Sometimes he covers competitions by either
Yeah,
playing or casting
basically
them.
you sleep,
With the
you eat,
Trackmania
you stream,
Marathon,
and nothing
where
else.
he played through every Trackmania game just before the release of the new game.
Ooh,
He created a
I
lot of
died-
hype around Trackmania
almost died
and
like
his
3
stream.
times in a row.
He's attracting new players with his awesome way of approaching and answering questions.
Yeah, the Trackmania Marathon is actually the main standout for me for Riolu this year. Having followed a few tidbits of it with his way of spreading through every single Trackmania game released until the new game, making me
Haven't seen
uncover
that
some,
ending.
some things that I've never known, like the fact that there was a
Oh,
Trackmania
Dogman.
Flash game, because
It-
I didn't have access to
I knew
Flash,
after the
when I
loop
was
at the
young.
end,
That's-
go
that's something
right.
that kinda sadly
But I
went
did
on.
it after the
That's
first
another,
one.
kind of that is worth going on a little
And one
later
I
on.
also
wasn't
was like 2
Our
blocks
fourth
too
and
high,
final nominee
too
for
high at the
Caster
exit.
of the Year
That was
is,
really scary.
Well, first of all,
I also wasn't aware
every
of the
single
ending.
one
I
of
also
those
could
has
have
been
died
English
easily.
speaking. We are now tackling the French-speaking community. And second of all, he's perhaps our
Lol.
first representative of Switzerland
Oh,
to
yeah,
ever be
Yannick.
nominated. You guessed
Yeah.
it, guys.
Yeah, okay.
None
Pretty
other
obvious.
than Yannick's.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yannick
like,
is
I
a
don't
very
know what
motivated
other
streamer who
French.
streamed a huge amount of hours.
It's basically just in the roads a battle of the communities, huh?
Streamers.
Yeah.
He put a
They
lot of
don't
effort
stream
into
as
his
much.
streams, getting around
Well,
10,000
maybe
new followers
Necro.
playing Trackmania.
But he
Yannick
also
is
like
doing
has
diversified content
much
on
lower
Trackmania.
views.
He plays
Yeah.
many
Yeah,
competitions.
true.
And he
Oh, I
even
almost
plays
died.
TMGL for
guy.
Vice
Probably gonna
Esport.
be nominated.
He does
there.
map
Like in Castle,
discoveries,
there
and he
are
also
3
mapped
obvious
a lot
ones.
this year with
Fourth
his
is
weekly event.
unclear. Like
It's
it's probably
Cup,
gonna be
a fun
virtual.
event with short
Yeah,
maps.
or Riolu.
Fourth
Pretty sure.
position in Castle, and then he's
So
gonna
there
win.
you
and
go.
I'm
Those
gonna
are
be
your
pissed.
4 nominees for Streamer of the Year: Wurtle, Spam, Riolu, and Yannick's. Now moving on from the rather
Always the
general
problem
streaming
if
category
you
to
have like
something
one
a little
person
bit
who
more
barely
on
makes it
point
in, but is
and
really
geared towards
popular.
Oh
competition.
no.
We're
Oh my
bringing
god,
some of the
Ozone
best
just made a
commentators in the
such a
game. We're
How did I
choke?
casters of
How am I
the
seventh? I finished backwards. I finished backwards.
The award
flipped.
for 4
You
of these
have
nominations,
better
they have been
positions than
selected
me
on their ability
last
to
round.
cast
I was
through
second faster.
both
Okay.
both in terms of quality
Oh
and
fuck it! How is that even
those
so
who are
close
not
in front of me?
exclusive. The various competitions that have been happening
Man,
every year in Trackmania.
I did a
Our
backflip.
first nominee.
I did
for
a
this one
180
is
spin.
Distinctive by the fact
And I
that he
luckily
is one
landed
of
on the
2
road, right in front of the
French
finish.
commentators to have been nominated for this,
Yeah,
and one of
gotta
the
catch
mainstays
dog.
in the French casting scene, and someone that I've had the pleasure of working with. Ladies and gentlemen, your first nominee for Caster of the Year is none other than Necroa.
This French caster is well known in the community for his
Necra?
investment in casting
Wow.
Trackmania competition. even if it's mostly
Yeah, but
cast
he
in
casted
French,
a lot
the
as
amount of
well.
competition
I don't
cast
even
by
know
him
him. Where
surpassed
does he
every
cast?
other casters
Yeah,
in the
it's
game.
only
his
French.
channel.
You can be sure
Yeah.
that every weekend
But he
Only
casted
French
like
Necro's
streams
Twitch
a
channel and
lot.
see him cast
I
a
Yeah.
have no
competition
idea
that you
about his
never heard
quality of
about.
his casting,
Necro
obviously,
started
because,
casting
it's French.
Trackmania competition in June 2018
I just saw
with
some
CRT,
clips, but
TM Cup,
look good.
and never stopped since then. He took part of
Like
Lunary
the thing
to
that
cast
like,
Brand's
kind of
TMGL
weirds me
winter
out with
season.
him is that his,
Recently, he joined
his
Game Art to
camera that
cast
he uses for
Gwen's
his webcam
TMGL
is
fall
so low
season.
quality.
His casting
Oh,
skills
Markus.
also evolved month after month, and now he acquired a
Okay,
lot
dog
of
is
knowledge
fifth, that's
of the
nice.
game. In the community, he's one of the best
I think it's
casters out
decent
there.
points.
Mixing professional casting with some humor, Necra makes every competition he casts enjoyable for everyone to watch,
Ooh.
even if you're not
He
familiar
could have finished
with the game,
on
which is really important with the arrival of the new game, meaning new players.
Toujours avec Zalti, Yannex qui
Ouais,
attaque
il y a
un
des
petit
show
peu
clips.
et qui va avoir le plus de vitesse. Yannex pour le moment qui est toujours devant, mais Bren,
Then I
un
don't
meilleur
have anything
rebond.
more there.
Bren, peut-être, a manqué Yannex, a manqué Yannex
Ah,
sur
I
un
almost
millième,
missed
sur
the
un millième, Yannex
countdown.
qui va passer en statut de finaliste, un millième, il a...
Moving on to our next nominee in the Caster of the Year awards, and how can I put this? It's a bit of a weird one. Frankly, because of how quickly it has come in, and how it has never really dawned into my mind that it could happen. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, indeed, you tweaked that. It's actually myself.
Yeah, a young caster that we have really discovered this year. He's the official caster for Pittsburgh Knights in the TMGL, but he casted a ton of competitions. He can switch between French and English and manage with both languages to make every single cast exciting and fun to watch. He casts some huge competitions beside TMGL, Twitch Rivals, Full Speed League, Solar Cup, and a lot more. He's casting every
Sadly, you
important
cannot really
competition, usually
see
in
my
English.
skid marks
He
in
also
Cam 2.
organized his own competition with the Pittsburgh Knights team, the Pittsburgh Knight all-arounder circuit. He podcasted and administrated a lot in the competition, which left the audience amazed.
The ice section from Pack was absolutely insane compared to the rest of the field. As we're heading into that entity, Tween is right within the gearbox of Pack. Let's actually see how this goes. Pack going high, Tween going low, ducking low. Let's actually see how this goes. Pack has got less speed. It's at the line. Tween takes it for 1/100th of a second. All right, that's a bit of, as I said, it's always weird when your name crops up and you're actually the host of the stream. You're like, oh, I never thought this actually happened. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm more than humbled and honored to have been nominated, to have been one of the nominees for Caster of the Year this year. Now,
what
moving
is
on to
this?
our third nominee in this list, a fellow
Is this
colleague of
ice?
mine with
I
which
think-
I had the,
yeah,
the
it's
occasion
Oh
to
my
cast.
I thought
One
it's dirt
competition.
from above.
Never managed to get the chance
But
to
the
actually
start
do
here
it
is
again
ice.
on another occasion, but
the
nevertheless,
track itself is
still
dirt.
someone that I
Yeah,
really
okay,
enjoyed
clearly,
working with, and
full
possibly one
ice
of the best
map.
casters that we've seen in the game this
Uh,
year. Our
finished
third
look
nominee for
weird.
Caster of the Year is none other than
Oh,
Kai
another
Turbo.
vote for
Luckers
us.
Turbo.
Turbo, let's
Turbo have seen
Go.
an extreme step up
Yeah, I
throughout
would vote
2020,
Turbo.
as much
Yeah,
as
me
in
too.
the quality of the stream and the cast.
Like I can't.
As
The,
his
the annoying thing is I
statistic.
can't.
He brings so many
rate
emotions into his cast
Nikua
that we
at
can
all.
feel it. As a
No,
notable
this is
example,
just French.
there is the final
Like you can't objectively
4
rate him if you
feature
don't understand
reel
the
or the
language.
event of
That's just what makes that really awkward.
FZTH.
From zero
In
to hero.
addition,
Probably like every
in
French guy is
addition
gonna
to
vote
the
for him.
great
Or
quality
for
of his cast,
GGeek.
he casted a
Yeah.
lot of competition this year, such as TMGL Season 1 and 2, from Zero to Hero,
I know already
Game
who's the
Award
fourth
Duo
one.
Cup, RPG Night Cup, 22nd and 23rd, Trackmania Dirt League, and much more. He managed to keep casting cups almost every single weekend
Oh,
for
what
the
is that
entire year,
finish?
which shows his commitment to bring high-quality cast to spectators.
Oh
Good, I
man,
finished
it is
now,
Omega
finally.
not making a mistake. Megarian with more speed. This is so close to call. You have to be kidding me. You have
This
to
is
be
from
kidding me.
UB Team
Omega,
Trio Cup
what would
Yeah.
you
from this weekend.
Will Megarian take that first position or is it Exless taking
what
it?
is that
It's Exless
here?
taking it. You have to be kidding me. What is happening?
Our fourth
Drove
and
the
final
whole turn
nominee
over the
for
stand. Yeah, great.
Caster of the Year is, well, as I said, we had the first of two French nominees being revealed up first, which was Necrua, and the second fully French nominee revealed today, which is acts as our 4th nominee, is someone that's actually had a pretty surprising beginning of the year, possibly being the only man in this top 4 to have casted on stage,
that
but
ending,
also
man.
having stepped a bit
Good thing
outside of his
I did
comfort
the
zone
cut.
by casting something
They
other
overtook
than
everyone there.
Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to
Hello?
Wingo Bear.
There's a cut?
But
Yeah,
the
Wingo is
finish.
another benchmark of
Ah,
the
so
casting
okay.
scene
Wingo
on
Bear.
Trackmania. He proved it again this year.
Wingo? What?
Blending
Interesting.
in
Wingo
Europe's
Bear-
Read that
awareness,
much?
Yeah,
his
the
energy
cast?
made us
important for
live
Wingo
through a
Bears
lot
that he
of
casted
events
in
this year,
person,
both in
I guess.
Trackmania 2 and Trackmania.
At the,
It's
was
also
it
the
Team
one
GR?
who allowed us to watch
I guess
the
it was.
unique RPG events that took place
Yeah, I
this year,
think so.
like the Classic RPG Cup and the Monthly RPG Cup. We also had opportunities to cheer on Aurel in TMGL on his stream, and watch community hosted
for
events such
him,
as
again, it's in French. You
Liti Cup,
can't rate that.
Parka Cup,
That's annoying.
Fatal Cup, and Jack Cup.
Like for every English-speaking person, it can only go between GGeek and Turbo.
Est-ce que Carl Junior a eu un meilleur atterrissage que Gwen, mesdames et messieurs, j'ai bien l'impression que
At least there's
Carl Junior
an even
a une
split
centième
of true French
récupère
to non-French.
le point sur
I guess
cette
for
carte.
most French people, it's like the complete opposite because
La
they
deuxième
probably
map
don't
gagnée
watch
pour
English at all.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
Because
have
why
the
should they if
4
there's
nominees for
a
Caster
French
of the
stream?
Year. Necroa, myself, Turbo, and
But I
Wingo Bear. That
often
concludes the
watch,
Twitch subset of awards for this
English, even if
running
there's
of
a
the
German
TM
one.
Awards. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
me
Ed,
too.
for,
But I,
coming
well,
in here and
depends.
helping
I don't
us
know,
with the
German is
nominations
kinda
and also
awkward
reading out
language. I don't
my
know.
description
Yeah,
text.
that's actually
For
true.
casting, yeah.
For example, for
Team
TMGL, I always watched Virtual Live and then I rewatched the one from
or even the
Trilux.
first person for that matter.
I did the exact
Yeah,
same.
thank you for
I mean, the
having me.
Trilux cast is really entertaining.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was really good.
Awards,
Yeah.
we have, well,
Exactly,
we talked about competitions
especially
on
when
and
he
on, but
starts
now it's time to
screaming
talk about
around.
these
Yeah.
events.
It's
We
good to have
events
like
being
full
the
fun.
Match of the
The
Year
special
coming
effects,
up
like
right
all the
next.
clips and stuff.
Joining me for
Yeah, it's
these subset of
definitely
awards is the
important to
competition
have.
organizer himself, one of the main impulses of behind the Baltic Trackmania scene in this year, instigator of the Baltic Trackmania Cup,
He's so
and more
bad on
recently
the
of the
track,
Time Chasers
you don't
Trackmania Championship
everywhere,
Series and
but
of the Baltic
somehow
Trackmania League.
they
Please
had good
welcome
positions
SRK.
always. Probably
Well,
not this one.
hello, thanks for having me.
How are you
I
doing?
don't understand
Wait,
the
wait,
trigger.
who's in voice with
ready
G?
to do some
I
nominations.
didn't hear it.
Alright, so
SRK.
I guess we should
Okay.
get right underway without any hesitation. Up first we have
I
Event
only
of the Year.
look
Now
at
you
the
might
track
understand
on the
why
side
now
and
offline
now
or
it matters.
online event. Well, you know the entire situation, the entire
Oh,
barely got into the
I went from
seventh
7th to 2nd.
with the sanitary situation
Oh
and whatnot.
God,
but
no.
yeah, so we
And
have
suddenly
regrouped
the
both
lead is
offline and
just
offline and
gone.
online events
Damn it.
into one umbrella category.
one mistake.
With Event
Yeah.
of the Year, rewarding some of the most prestigious and
Cup
best
of the
events that
day.
we've ever seen in Trackmania.
Was such a
over the course
small
of the year.
mistake,
Our
and it
first
cost
nomination
that
is
much.
credited
It's
to be
weird.
the only offline event to have ever taken place this year. That event being the
I
Lyon
expect
Esport
TMFO.
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
first
probably.
time Trackmania was represented at Lyon.
I mean, is it only events or also competitions? Like for me, it's a difference. Like
I think it's both.
competitions
The
category,
format
so
particular with a sequence of matches on
Okay.
with two
Hopefully
second
cheap
chances: the
lessons
Pro
in there.
Tournament with its winner and loser bracket, and the Amateur Tournament
I already
if
got a
you were
bad start here. Oh my
losing in the losers bracket.
goodness.
The land spirit and the good atmosphere on site made Lyon Esport a competition well deserving the title of the event of the year.
There you go about the Lyon Esport. Our second nomination for this year is actually for an event who's actually someone from the administration crew is actually up for an award already
Oh my
in
goodness.
the content creator category.
I had
If I recall
3
correctly
good
from
rounds,
my
but that one
really smooth
round where I
brain and my
crashed
rather
just
short memory of what
puts
happened
you
on the
down
stream.
so
But
much.
nevertheless, our second nomination
It's
for
always
Event
weird.
of the Year is the Trackmania Formula League.
It's always the problem if there's so many
Yeah, the
people
Trackmania
driving
Formula League impressed
that are
with a
usually
very
always
well-made
behind,
script
like, the
allowing
top
to
5.
count realism a lot
Like in
closer.
every round
A
they're always
prologue
behind.
separated drivers
But
into
in that
several
one round
divisions,
where you crash,
so they
you
could play
suddenly
against
fall
similar
behind
skilled
them, and
opponents.
then you lose
Within the
additional
season, they played
points.
endurance races after just 20 minutes of training and a one-lap qualifying. Due to the
Same
fuel
also
loss
always in,
and time wear,
like,
players had
Smurf
to make
Cups,
several pit stops
something.
within the race. The special thing
Oh,
about
ice.
TMFL is the
No, it doesn't seem like
players
ice.
could
It's
influence
street.
these factors by different driving styles, which made different
Oh,
racing lines and strategies.
I know most of the corners.
A very well-made and fresh competition that deserves an even bigger player base next season.
Indeed, it does deserve
Oh,
it.
this text was written by me.
Sidelines, I was really impressed with the
That he was
quality of
just,
the entire
speaking.
event and also
Right,
the
this
script
seems
itself.
to be
Team
a
NFL is
tech track,
definitely
nice.
a definite breath of fresh air in the landscape of Trackmania game modes for sure.
Oh
And
my
Trackmania events as well. Our third nomination of the year is arguably one of the
I looked
most
away
memorable
there,
events that
and
we've ever
with
seen
the icy
in
tires and
Trackmania
felt so
as a
awkward.
whole, and of
I can
course in the
only
year. That's
halfway
third nomination
constantly
going,
on the
of
screen
course,
while
you might have
driving.
guessed it, to the From Zero to Hero
But like,
tech tournament.
it's so stupid because on the
Yeah,
on the
organized
screen,
by
like nothing
Mass
happens.
as his
You know?
last competition from 0
There's
to 0
just
was a
text
great
and
spin
nothing
to
else,
finish
but I
off
still
the
look
Trackmania
all the
2
time.
era with the classic double elimination cup mode
It's like
format. It was
when you're
possible
sitting
by
at like
cancelled
McDonald's
gamers
and
assembly due to
there's
the
a
COVID-19
TV
pandemic
screen
with a
somewhere with
prize
just
pool of
like
over
random
2,000
music
euros
videos
for
that
the
you don't care about.
participation-
Like
with the
you still look
participation
at that
of
all the
top
time.
128 top
Because
caliber
it's just
tech
like
players.
I don't know,
As
something
such,
new
From
moving.
Zero to Hero was one of the most
Right.
stacked online tech events this year.
Can't keep
After
your
many
eyes
upsets and
off it.
high-level gameplay, only 4 players made it to the
What
grand
is this
finals.
map?
Didn't
Junior,
remember us.
back
Didn't
from the
remember a
upper
single turn now.
bracket, as well as Tween and Novice from the lower one. The competition was fierce, the hype was real, as these players had no problem setting times close to world record in match setting. As the matches went on, the players from upper bracket slowly but surely managed to acquire a noticeable point of difference from the other two. Although Tween made a significant comeback and Novice set some insane times when crunch time came, Pack and Carl Jr. stepped up their game, solidified their positions. Pack wasted no time after reaching
What is this, the
finalist
text for
status
match
first
of the
to
year or
secure the
for
trophy right away after
for
being
event?
in turn by Tween. Not long after,
Could be
Carl
both.
Jr. secured the second
Not sure
place
why
and
they are
Tween finished
explaining
off the
the final.
all in all, a very exciting event and should
I mean,
be
yes, the
remembered
final
as one
was
of the best
good,
tech
Oh, of
events
course I
Pretty
get
good.
One of the
overtaken,
best
man.
events,
What?
full
That
stop,
was
no matter
third.
the style. This
The whole
is
game.
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
top
Yeah,
contender.
because I got
Our
airtime
fourth
in
and
the
final
end.
nominee for
Aye, aye, aye.
event of
Why
the year
even
is
say?
something that's again might
Because
have
I
been a
didn't
pretty
like
competitive
exactly the
pick,
corners.
very much like in other categories, but nevertheless a very deserving one. Our fourth nomination for event of the year is
Full Speed
the
League.
Full Speed
Wow.
League.
No
This
Trackmania
team
Grand League.
competition held early January gathered all full-speed
What a
players from
surprise.
Trackmania 2
No
and even
official
Trackmania
competition
Nations
at all.
Realm.
Yeah, I can tell you that
Organized
this
by
one will
Manuel
also
Vivo
not
and
come.
Repulse with a prize pool of 1,000 euros.
But
The
it's
Full
already
Speed
the
League
fourth.
is the most prestigious tournament that
Yeah.
the full speed team can win. Each
Yeah,
week's
not with
teams
this
were
point
facing
system.
off each other on map pack of 9 maps with an original system
That
of
turn
pick
there
and
is
ban
so
phase
important
by
and I
helping the
just
full speed
forget
scene
it.
to grow up.
But this
The,
hub
the
is so
FSL
long
crew
and
also
slow.
held the FSL Glitch Edition, a
Gets that
solo-based competition where the top 32 full-speed drivers were fighting for the win.
The FSL Glitch Edition, of course, being held as a substitute to the
Ah,
already
I
cancelled
catch dog in the end,
Gamers
nice.
Assembly Full Speed Tournament, and that was
Oh,
one of the
nice.
highest
Flat
level
time.
full speed tournaments that we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
That concludes events of the year. Now we move on to a category where there are many
be match of the year.
picks that were possible, and in the end it had to be whittled down to just 6 nominees. Match of the year. We're wanting some of the most memorable matches that we've
German
seen
top 4
in this
incoming.
year at Trackmania, and this one will be complete with clips of the winning rounds from these particular matches. Up first is, well, related to our first nominee for event of the year. We have our first nomination for match of the year, the
Please
grand
no.
final of the From Zero
Nah,
to Hero.
I know the.
Yeah, as mentioned in the
that's already.
previous category,
Good
this
thing
was
that
the
there's
peak
no
of Trackmania
PGA
2
final.
solo competitions by bringing back
Because that would be voted.
a lot of veterans
Most
who
people know about
participated in the
Oh,
event.
that turn was
We got
so
left with
bad.
Junior, Pack, and
I
Tween,
approached
who
it from
are
a complete
arguably the
left.
fastest tech players around,
Finally,
but also one
didn't
underdog
fuck it up
made it to the
completely.
final, Novice. But Novice didn't hide. He really pushed it and kept
Oh, I had
kept
to
it up
release.
with the pace of 3 TMGL players. In general, it was a
Answer
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
What?
final where every player
That
had the chance
last
of winning
drift,
it
is
all.
that even a
Every
drift?
player
Or do you
pushed
just
it to the
no-side it
absolute
when you
maximum,
go into that
driving close to
downhill
world
I
record
drift.
most rounds.
I know slide.
As Carl Jr.
Because I
goes-
lost
but
so
it's-
much
everybody's
there.
so close together and Pack is so slowing down a little bit. Carl Jr. going for the tech, Novice with a bit more speed.
Oh!
Novice does
It's
not
map
make
of
the
the
jump
year.
though.
What?
And Carl Jr. and Tween overtake
Wait,
Pack
no,
in the
it's,
meantime. They are
it's
trying
What?
to
not
block
updated.
Pack's first attempt, but with an insane and Pack could make a Tween makes a mistake. Pack is on his way. In.
Carl Jr.
Carl Jr. is not
That's-
able to snipe and Pack takes
For this
the
one
win.
more round, I almost missed it again.
Our second nomination for the Trackmania Match of the Year award is something that came out a little bit late, came just a little bit at a later date compared to the From Zero to Hero, with that particular match with the final taking place in mid-April, whilst the match took place at the
I
beginning
hate
of the
those
month
turns.
of May.
Oh my
It is none
goodness.
other than the French Championship
Just about
Spring
news.
2020 edition Grand Final.
Yeah, it was a multi-style competition that was played out in the first half of 2020, with a prize pool of 400 euros. This final had everything,
Very nice.
going into the final undefeated by winning the seeding and all other rounds before the final. Then we had Gwen, who dominated the match and just drove super consistent throughout the entire race. On the other hand, you could think that Link
That guy
lost his
in the
pace
chat.
was racing, but in fact Coco was doing the craziest comeback of the year. He was 40 points behind
Wait,
Link
what's the
at some
French
point
championship?
and still claimed second position over
It's
him.
French
And in the round
championship,
for the
but
first,
I
just
think
speaks itself. Gwen
other
overtook
areas
Link
of
in the
the
last jump by finning more to the
France
left.
compete against each
This
other.
final
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I think so.
Germany would be the
rounds, and it was the
Bundesländer, or like in the
beginning
USA,
for
the
Binks
states.
to really show
Bundesliga.
And also,
Did I
Coco,
actually
who
say
will it take?
Bundesliga?
Who will take
No.
it?
Bundesländer.
Bundesländer.
I was
Oh my god, this is
I could have
impossible
seen
to
that
call.
easily.
Link with a good section as well as Gwen. Gwen can risk
where
it.
do
Who
you go?
will it be? It will be
Oh.
Gwen who will take it.
Okay.
What the f
Wait,
was
what?
this ending? Are you kidding me?
Wait, do you go on
Wait,
that
is
pipe?
this? Ah, this is RPG. I thought
Moving
it
on
would
to
be ice.
Oh,
our
no.
third nomination
Oh, it's two warm-ups,
for
okay,
Match
fine.
of the Year award. Something that tackles
what
a
is
style
Wait,
that we
you
haven't
have to go
particularly
on to the
seen
second
much in
report.
the new game that has been more prominent in TM2 Stadium, but
I'm not
we saw
ready
a
for this.
really high
Oh,
level
what
match
is this?
coming up here in our third nomination, being the Trackmania Open Dirt Grand Final.
You
This
gotta
was a
focus
dirt
so
solo
much on you
competition
can't
Yeah.
watch
which lasted
like on the
over a
side.
couple of weeks. We got rewarded with
Oh,
one of
man.
the closest
Why
finals
is there a
this year,
recap
where
block?
no player majority dropped behind. Not only
Another
was the score
one.
close
Interesting
throughout
texture, I
the
guess.
entirety of the match, but also rounds were decided just before the finish by a couple of thousands.
What?
The times were super close to the world record in almost every single round, and we have seen one world record by Kocho during the
Yeah.
match who eventually
Where'd you
won the
go?
competition.
What?
Bum right there on the inside, but you will
Okay.
realize that he's actually coming
Out of
all
that
back.
quarter pipe, I
Insanity
guess you
up to
go on
second.
the left
Will
side.
get it
The
right here, and
signs are
Kocho
super
just-
weird
Oh
there.
my.
Yeah.
Are you actually kidding me? Oh my god, so this flattened this grand final with Kocho
I think I have to
is
go
your
on
winner
that.
of the
I
Trackmania
don't see
Dirt
that.
Open 2020. What a performance, and I must say, this is more than deserved.
Oh.
Our fourth nomination from the for the Match of the Year award is actually a fairly recent tournament. In fact, it is possibly the most recent nomination match nominated that we've ever had, I think, in the TM Awards, if we're all good. Now, fourth nomination is also the very first Trackmania 2020 nomination on this list, being the fourth quarterfinal of the UB Team Trio Cup.
A trio competition with a unique format was
I
just
agree
held
here,
out in
okay.
December this year. In the quarter-final cup mode was played, where two of
Oh,
three team
risky
members
jump,
had
nice.
to win the cup mode to advance into the semi-final. Out of four
Okay,
teams,
it's not
only
that
two
big.
advanced.
Okay.
The team around Enner, Carl, and Shucker had no trouble to advance to the next round. However, it was back and forth between three remaining
Lars
teams
is gonna
that
be the
eventually
problem here.
everyone could advance in the semi-final. What makes this match so
Actually didn't
remarkable
steer
is
before
the
the
fact that
checkpoint and I was
Revolve
stuck.
eventually made it in the close round despite going into this match as the complete underdog. The last round was a roller coaster of emotion.
Oh man, it is
I
Omega
really
not
wanna
making a mistake,
watch
going
on the
with more
side.
Speed. This is so close to call. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. Omega not with the best amount of speed.
They showed this
Will
now already.
Omega take that first
Oh my God,
position, or is
Turbo
it
is
Xless
shocking.
taking it? It's Xless taking it. You have to be kidding me. What is happening?
Moving on to our penultimate nominee for Match of the Year awards, we are moving on to another TM2 match. In fact, it's the fourth and final TM2 match, if I am not mistaken, nominated for this particular award of Match of the Year. But nevertheless, we have the grand final of the very first edition of the Flash
Wait,
Cup.
I was playing that. I
This
think.
cup was being
Wait, I'm
played
first.
at the beginning
I think
of
I got
May this
fourth
year.
at
We
this
had
cup.
8 top-tier players
What?
like Aurel and Gwen.
How can I
dominated the match,
lose 2
but it was
positions in the
Aurel
last
winning.
sector?
Gwen
Did
got
you do
denied
the
so many
risky
times,
finish?
and the fact that he didn't even make
Is
it
there a
onto the
risky
podium
finish?
shows
Yeah.
how level
On
Are
the
you
right.
kidding?
was
How
at
would
the
you not see this,
competition.
Marius?
Dexter
Like
had a sick
literally.
comeback on the last map and eventually
right,
climbed third position just behind
Like
Narco.
it's so bright and
Aurel
red.
with
How
a
would you not
godlike
see
approach here onto the
Like,
transition.
honestly.
So Aurel in first, Hugo in second, and this could be the GG for Aurel. He could use this first finals attempt to his
From where do you jump into this?
We only have Hugo to deny him. Hugo with the risk, but it will be
Just
Aurel
take the
with
ramp,
a 48.90 winning it. What a great performance by Aurel. GG.
Oh no, I messed up
Then we
completely.
arrive at match
Nice.
number 6, our final
You
nominee
first place
for
now?
Match of the Year award, and it's
How's
something
Doc gonna come?
again. Only the second
I should
nomination
try to
See if I
start a
can
little
and
bit
an
faster
event that
for that.
happened
catch some
all the way
people.
back in the first few months of the game, in the first 2 months of the game, as a matter of fact, with the climax of this tournament, from which we will see the final, from which we will see the match played out in
No,
the
Heath is
end
actually
of August.
in
That
front by
final nomination
second.
goes to the Pittsburgh Knights
Interesting.
All-Rounder Circuits Grand Final.
The Pittsburgh Knights Cup used several game modes. To reach the playoffs, you
It's
had
my
to gather
text.
points in multiple steps, which consisted of time attack, rounds,
Oh,
and
I
laps
almost
mode.
died
But
there,
for
holy
the final
shit.
day, players had to perform in cup
Oh my
finals.
god, it's a 10th in the end? Are you
8
kidding?
players with
Okay, I
many
got
big
6.
I
names
was
Nice.
a
played
second
against each
behind
other
and then
on
it's a 10th
very
with
unique
both of
maps.
them.
Oh my
Shocker was
goodness.
able to win
Ah.
the
It's not good
the
that
fight
I-
for second
oh
place
my
was
goodness.
close with multiple finalists. Super Carloof
Only
got
I
it,
completely
but
messed
other
up the
finalists
start.
continued struggling to close it out. Multiple non-finalists won the upcoming rounds, so in the end, everyone became with finalist status in the last round.
Need
Spam
more
won,
first
secured the
places.
third place.
Everyone is in P3. He can take advantage of a mistake if that happens. It's gonna be to the final set of jumps.
Actually, I would like to see what they write,
Link going for the hole-in-one.
because I'm one of the ones who decided which gets here as into the nominee.
Spam who completes the podium and takes. This concludes your awards for both events and match
Yeah, I
of the year.
opened
Definitely
the
some pretty
Steam
stacked
and, like,
competition over the
in that
course
window mode where
of
you
these
see
particular
the
awards,
chat
because
on
there
the
were so
side.
many good picks and so many events that happened on TM 2020 that it's really difficult to pick and choose, and you have to evaluate the kind of picks that you have.
Yeah, it was really hard to guess because there were so many awesome events and also so many awesome matches, and it was very hard to pick which are the ones who stand out.
Indeed. So thank you very much, SRK, for coming in and helping me out in tackling these two categories together. It's been a pleasure of having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh my
this
goodness,
again?
are you
Thank you very
kidding
much.
me?
Now we've done
Come
community
on.
people,
Was again a second
skinning,
behind.
movie making, mapping,
Oh,
Twitch, and events. plus matches.
3000s.
Now we attack what I like to call the big boy. We've got no less than 5
Oh, we were
categories left,
Equimers.
rewarding some of the best teams and
Interesting.
players we've seen this year. This is the
Oh,
big,
and of course
big
he gets
boy.
the 5 more points
And I needed a pretty good guest to actually, help me out on this now, due to the amount of time
Oh,
that
there's
I've had a
another
little
one.
bit of long
I
following
always
competitions,
get
and,
caught on
yeah,
that. What the hell?
having followed every single
I
single
died
competition
again,
under the sun
for fuck's
in this
sake.
year of 2020, I am pleased to welcome my fellow
Okay.
colleague, Turbo. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. Just weird hearing my voice on stream when we
Oh
had all those
no,
matches
what
coming up,
is
but I'm doing good.
this?
I mean,
I'm really looking forward to.
you picked up coverage where I left off, man. It's all jokes aside, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show once again, to actually to have you on the show this time around to actually help me go through these nominations.
Wow,
So first
that
up,
was so
before we
smooth.
tackle the players, we have another, like, we could say players, but rather a group of them. Team of the Year is up next, rewarding some of the best teams in terms of
Oh, no.
performance that throughout the year of
Oh, that's
2020.
so sad.
It's actually
Oh, that's so
one,
sad.
the only category
Please
I think
talk not
that we have
first.
an honorable mention that will come
Okay,
after
nah, he's
the
second.
Clipped
Ah,
on
reveal
you
all of
know
the,
that pipe
all
that
of the
and
nominees.
yeah.
like
Up
on the
first
sides,
is the team
it's
that
not
actually
a
performed
clean
really well in
geometry. And
the final part of the CPS
I
22,
clipped a little
taking
bit
the
on the
fight
side.
to some really,
It's really weird
big
why
players all
that
around.
happens. Got a
First
direct
nomination
penalty,
is
then couldn't make the
Trackmania
jump anymore.
Heroes Europe.
The first one where I jumped into the ring finish.
One of the
Points.
strongest teams of this year. By starting with
Ah,
they did
why
pretty
did I
well in the TMM,
fuck up this
where
start
they
so
finished
much?
third place and were beaten by Numalops in the loser bracket
FSIs, oh
final. A bit after,
freak.
they were participating in the TCS
Imagine the warm-up
Trackmania
map.
Championship Series,
Let's see if
where they
Waypoint
placed
is in
6th in the
this.
group stage and
Could
also
be.
finished in a 56th
Yeah,
position at the end of this
That's full
competition.
speed.
was a bit of a struggle.
Pretty sure
for them at this time. And at the end
Numelos
of
is
the
gonna
year,
make it.
they did also pretty well in the CPS and the competition.
I think Smurfen should be in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was
Yeah.
Trackmania Granady players, as you of course all know. We've all seen this
Maxi
competition
left?
was a banger.
Oh no,
Casted
you're
by
just
you, of
loading,
course,
right?
so I didn't cover this competition. You did this. But eventually
there you
they
go.
were beating
Oh,
Forest,
what?
to end this last competition in 3rd place. And
What is that?
The team is really looking strong.
Okay, it seems to be not a full ice map again. That's nice.
I'm scared of
with
that
good
ending.
old players like Dexter,
Could you still move the camera, Maxi, just before we start now?
I would have to say
What?
the Magolas duo
What?
is probably one of the strongest lineups that we've seen in CPS.
How are you
and
supposed
that
to?
semi-final versus We Are Positive. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mamma mia, that was such a spicy match
Finally I
all
saw
the
the
way into
start,
the
but
decision.
that's
It was definitely some sight to behold. So yeah, definitely well played THE for that nomination. Second nomination for Team of the Year is a team that has been really at the, towards the forefront of performance in the
Wow.
Trackmania team competition space over the course of
boosters. Oh,
2020.
I flew out.
It is
Ooh,
Numelos.
Yeah, Team Numelos has not only a strong
Okay.
lineup on tech or on full speed, both lineups are really strong, so they're a strong candidate to be
Oh,
Team
didn't
of
get
the
to the
Year.
finish. Okay, there's the second warm-up.
They,
Nice.
Numelos was a name consisting for the titles throughout the year and achieving remarkable results. Their full speed division
Bro,
most
let's
recently took
start,
second
man.
place in the full speed pro league after an exciting final. And on the one
You
hand, their
give
tech
that
lineup
a
claimed
start. Costs
the
too much,
titles
but
on
at least
TMM
it's
Team
safe.
Cup, Trackmania
Yeah, it
Championship
costs way
Series,
too much,
as
though.
well as taking the bronze medal at the ALM Cup, and finished this year by taking second place at the CPS with the help of Novice. Overall, a very consistent
that
and
looping is so
well-versed
difficult.
team in
Yeah.
2020.
Indeed,
Completely agree there.
indeed. Third nomination
What the fuck?
has always been has also been a bit of a,
Oh,
well,
made
it's a
this
bit of a
looping
new
in a single
name per
time,
se,
yeah,
but the
finally.
lineups behind those
I
names
thought I missed
are
the finish, but
actually
there was a
well
second.
familiar and have actually been performing over the course of 2020 pretty well, well for themselves in the under.
I will definitely crash in between the finishes.
Team competition space.
Yeah.
Their third
Well, makes
nomination
sense
for
to
Team of the Year
leave on
is
this week.
Proxys.
Yeah, Proxys, and you all already named it previously this year, called Elite.
Didn't make it.
Did very great this year as always. At the start of the
20th,
year,
are
they
you
finished
kidding?
4th at TMM, and they
I
were
don't know how
reaching
you're
the
supposed to get
semifinals
that,
in
especially on
GCS
keyboard. It should be
2.
impossible.
In their first team competition of the new Trackmania installment, the ALM Cup,
Like,
they won. At the end of the year, after losing many
Put more
players
space,
like Paul
did
and
perfect.
Of
Schweizer
course,
to
I
join,
messed it up.
4W or 4 wheels, and Nobles playing for Numelops, they teamed
Hate
up
that.
with No Limit for CPS 22. They made it into the playoffs and lost their first mid against Numelops, who reached the grand final. And of course,
How
lost against,
unlucky
We Are
am I?
Positive.
Yes. Moving on to our
Okay, I'm
fifth and
surprised
final
that so many people
for
survived.
Team of the Year, a returning nominee for from the previous
the
year,
middle
as a
of
matter
the
fact,
finish.
in the track
I
record.
knew it.
2019, that fourth
Of the
nomination
two
goes
finish
to
rings, yeah.
Fun Time.
Oh,
Now remember
man.
that after this particular nomination, there's also an honorable mention. So
Wait, Fun
make sure to
Time?
stick around.
What's that?
Do
Yeah,
they
18
even exist?
Oh,
points.
we're equal,
Considered
Maxi.
for this award as well. This is why I
oh.
don't, it is on
Dog
the-
left.
Uh,
Dog
in the
left.
TMM competition, they went to the semi-final against the winner of the Cup, Numelops. They reached the grand final of the
Now I
TCS
found the
and
line.
played
Holy
against
shit.
Numelops
So
again.
much more speed.
They also reached the
Suddenly.
ALM Cup final, where they lost against Proxys, but sadly they
I don't know the
didn't
line
qualify
here in this
for
wall, right?
CPS 22.
So those are your 4 nominees. Now before we move on to our first
People
player
say Funtime is
category,
inactive since
up
about
first,
6
have
months.
An honorable mention.
Okay, I went from third to
here
first.
for that particular
Maybe I
award.
know the
that
line.
honorable mention going to Team B Genius.
Yeah, so the first honorable mention here in the Trackmania Awards, it is BG.
Oh, I did the same again, but
2020
luckily I
without
flew
reaching
into
the
the finish.
champions
Nice
bracket
time, Marius.
of TMM.
Yeah.
But the level has increased
Thanks.
over the year. They reached the top 6 in
Fishes.
CPS,
Hi.
where they didn't.
Who's in the call? Yeah, we have. Wow, you get an answer already.
HE.
Exactly. Chris is also here.
So,
Lars,
that
Maxi,
concludes
Granady,
Team of the
Chris.
Year. Now we're tackling the real
And
player
the
categories, and we're
voices in the
going
background, that's
by order
from
of
another
magnitude,
Trackmania stream where they
so to
just
speak, and
showed
we're
the
gonna tackle
Trackmania
our
awards.
first
So
Mania
GGeek
Planet
and Turbo
Player
are
of the Year.
speaking here.
Now, for this
the
particular
moment.
award, I think you'll agree with me, Turbo, it could have been interpreted in very
Mania
different
Planet
ways,
Player of the Year, so that
this
also
particular,
includes Shoot
race.
Mania, I
Oh
guess.
my
So,
god.
the jury
Yeah,
has
oh, we
decided
forgot
to,
about hype.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mania Planet
did
Player.
not move on to the new
He
Trackmania
reads
game.
my text
So
word
they
for
came
word.
up with a selection of players that still
So they
represent
still they still
really
call
good
it Mania
portion of
Planet.
the, TM2 and
Carl Jr. just
earlier
asked, Lagoon
community.
still exist?
Up first as the nominee of the year is the first
There was
non-Mania
one
Planet, so
big
yeah, a bit of
tournament in
an
Lagoon
exception to the rule in
this
this category. That nomination going to Sander.
Okay,
Yeah,
third.
so Sander
I
is
hate
a
it.
player, maybe one of
Sander.
Fucking finish, I was for sure
I mean,
first.
He won in 2006 20,000 in cash
Also
prize
crash.
in Trackmania Nations. At
I
Olympic
missed
Field.
both
And
finishes.
already
I
in
just
2006
went
he was
fully
the
straight out
But
above.
as all players, and
Hey, but
as
why
it
did
is for all
Sander
of
got
us, when you
Mania
quit
Planet player?
Trackmania, you will
Yeah.
come back,
It doesn't make
and
sense.
he came back.
Did
in
he
a
started
strong,
Mania
strong
Planet
fashion
even
in
once?
Trackmania
We
United.
said
So he's
they
not
should
only a good
change
player
the name
on the
because
stadium
it's
environment,
literally
he's also able
all
to play
communities
all the
that didn't move
environments
on to
in
TM
Trackmania
2020.
United. He won the
Wow.
United solo competition,
We
which
said
had
multiple
the
times
highest
we
level
need to
ever,
change the name.
and multiple
We agreed
favorites
on that,
with a
and
huge
apparently
lead.
they don't.
Later,
Didn't.
CMC, so his team, won the United League Reborn.
But
thanks to
Sander
his
deserves the
performance
victory
on
here.
all 7 environments,
Yeah.
and this is really
The text was by
remarkable
myself, by the
because those
way.
environments are really hard to do if you've played them on your own. It's
Carl
really hard to
Jr.
get a good
recommends
level on that.
Xenogear.
He regularly got the most points of all players in the 3v3 match. This is impressive as he was in Division 1 and only faced strong opponents in every sub-match. He was even able to beat the best environment specialist and did that on several environments. Jumper Jack's statistics prove that Sander
I
is by
missed
far the
it!
best player in
More
speed and
both. We were
consistency. And he showed in 2020 a complete domination.
Oh
and
my
Just ahead of us by
United,
so much.
He would
No.
have deserved to be nominated in many more categories for his performance this year.
Now,
Oh
I see a
my
lot of reaction in
And
the
now
chat
Myris
about
gets
the
the
naming
big
of the
lead.
category. I highlighted a little bit before we revealed our first nominee. It was a bit of an
This is so
exception to the
unlucky.
rule. I should have precised that it was indeed not. He was indeed a bit. He was indeed the only
You're kinda cruising.
Planet Player of the Year. And yeah, there are reasons that are due to the
Okay.
jury, and I am not
Dirty
part of the
eyes.
jury. I'm
Oh.
just a simple broadcaster. So if you have a problem with that, go talk to the jury, not me. I know it might sound a little bit
Okay.
aggressive to say that, but I
Seems
want
like
to.
this is-
Will it end on
clear
ice?
on the record right here.
On full ice?
There you go.
Like every map has an ice start, but the ice map was still
I
missing.
mean, you guys are also free to join in the jury. So if you guys complain about it, that you can join the jury because we put in a lot of effort to just bring you the best results in our head. So if you complain, of course we understand that. There are also
Yeah,
subjective
here.
things, but
It's
next time
it
you can
was
also
meant
join
to
the jury
be
and,
non-TM
yeah,
2020
partake in
player,
those
but they
awards.
just didn't
Indeed,
change
feel
the
free to
name.
join us and help us
Yeah, that's dumb.
make the
We
awards a
said
little bit
that
better
multiple
each time.
times. And then they
Moving on to our
here
next nominee,
blamed
now we're
the
moving
jury
directly into
because they
Mania
didn't
Planet
do
Player
it,
of the Year,
what we said.
and actually
Ah,
one of the
it's great.
only
If you had time now to write
stadium
something.
quote-unquote players, but in a bit of a different subset of
Wait,
stadium.
can you
in
cut
fact, it
this?
is actually RPG. Ladies and gentlemen,
Tourist.
your second nomination
Oh,
for Mania
who's
Planet
that?
Player of the Year is Morpio.
Tourist? No,
Yeah,
Tourist wasn't
Morpio, a player
close.
that
No,
was
not
always
Taurus,
pronounced
Tourist.
wrong when I was casting
Yeah,
the
exactly.
RPG Night Cup. But Morpio is the member of Team Milky Way, and he has improved his skill by driving a lot of notable
yeah, Tourist wasn't
good
good enough
records
this
throughout
year.
this year, and also
Was
he
between
finished up very
Morpio
well in a
and
lot of
Skandia.
competition. He was
okay.
starting by winning the Brawl Cup against Tourist.
I didn't know,
He also
but
won
I never
2
heard
Night
of
Cups,
Morpio
RPG Night Cup
before.
22 and 23, the classic RPG
Yes.
Cup, 6
Uh,
monthly
a little
RPG
bit
Cups,
new, I
and
guess.
finished
But
third
like
in
last
one
year.
Night Cup. And in addition to that, he was
Really
also
improved.
hunting a lot of classic tracks, taking WRs on maps such as
At first we
Mania,
had
Cisco,
also
Lab
Gende in there,
Sanctuary,
but
location of Ascension, or inside
he
the
felt
Vivid
like he
Plateau.
didn't
Okay,
deserve
that was
it,
all
so
hard to pronounce, but I did it.
Rolls right off your tongue, huh?
Yeah, as well as temporarily holding
And put a
W on
second
Maru,
Canyon
which
player,
is the most
which
hunted
I
and
didn't
therefore
agree
the
with,
most
but
prestigious
I
map
didn't want to
in
argue.
Trackmania 2 RPG, and a lot more. So we just named a few, but this is our
Oh,
second
this is
nominee.
live
Yeah,
one.
it's very
Yeah.
difficult to get
Oh.
really exhausted. I mean, your
Yeah,
list
this is the ice
is
map,
like,
aren't there
is like
supposed to be
mile
two
long of
warm-ups?
maps that you've
This
done.
is not an
I
ice
don't know
map.
how world records are. So yeah, please apologize for this. So third nomination of the year, and we're already.
I actually didn't know there is snow before the ice hairpin, and I full braked and then I was super slow.
Probably the only.
I thought like you're way too fast for this part.
Yeah, thanks for the 2 points.
Our next nomination is the first of 2 nominations
respawned like 5 times at the start to
races
train it.
on cliff faces and on roads built on cliff faces.
Oh.
That's right. It's time for our first Canyon nominee with none other than Mebe12 as nominee number 3 for Mania Planet Player of the Year.
Yeah, so Mebe once again impressed on Canyon with a stellar performance
I had
in
that
the
gear.
Canyon Endurance Premiership 6, winning 2/3 of the maps in the final, where he was playing against 19 opponents. So just consider winning 66% of the rounds against 19 other people. And what is even more importantly, he absolutely dominated the Canyon Nadeo campaign with 54 out of 65 WRs to his name. But guys, he didn't do that in just 10 years. He did this only this year.
Lost
This
it.
is crazy.
Yeah,
This is absolutely crazy.
pretty crazy. Although it must be said that he has got some competition, and he's
I
in the
was
chat before
second.
Yogo-san, claiming a few world records for himself. Hello, Yogo. by the
No,
way,
I was
for,
second.
Since you joined the chat, hope you're doing well.
I was second
Wait,
onto
why is
that ice part.
Nomination
Quest
for
Terrabo
Mania
got
Player
6th,
of the
he was in
Year
front
is,
of me.
Speaking of
How
Canyon,
am I
this is
like
our second
12 with
nomination
a
for a
42?
Canyon
How is this
player
so
to
easy
go
for
through this
everyone?
category, and it is
This is
Sura.
like the hardest ice map that I played
Yeah,
here.
so
It's
Sura
not an
has
ice map.
taken 16
It is?
wins and 31 podium places in Smurfs
Because the
Cups in
ice
Canyon, of course,
thing is
as he
the
is a
important
Canyon
thing,
specialist.
in my opinion.
And he has also achieved his 100th Smurf Cup victory this year by having 112 victories in total. He was participating in the SCL6, where he drove in the finals with his Demise.
Man.
And also he was participating in the SCL7 by winning and becoming third in the first 2
this is so
races
unlucky.
of the SCL7 group stage.
Now, correction, he still is participating. Remember that SCL7 is currently undergoing. It will run until the beginning of January, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, SCL is in the competition getting on the way. But yeah, second play, one map win and 1/3 place in the first 2 races of SCL group stage, SCL7 group stage. Now moving on to the final 2 nominations, starting with nominee number 5, with a bit of a more...
Yeah, what is Crestray doing? He was almost 2 seconds in front of us, and then he ends up on 4th.
Those that can do it all. The really
Is he doing the end
specialized
differently?
in the environments. Should we say it that way? Our 5th nomination is one
No
that actually
idea.
pretty impressed some of the people in the Mania Planet world.
Gravel
Gravel
Guy.
Guy.
Yeah, so probably a person that most of the people are not aware of, but Gravel Guy surprised everyone in the early year here by getting all 200 SDMs. And guys, if you ever drove an SDM, it's really hard to get that. And getting all 200 of 200 SDMs in Trackmania Turbo, it is really hard to do that. He did it kind of out of nowhere because Trackmania Turbo is going its way. It has not a lot of player base anymore. It's more of a casual game. But he was sending a picture on Discord by posting in, yeah, by the way, guys, I've just got 200 SCMs. So that was a very, very great accomplishment. But that's not where he stopped. He also was participating in a lot of Trackmania 2 Cups in the second half of the year, where he managed to get 9 Valley Smurf Cup wins and
what?
1 Canyon Smurf Cup victory.
Indeed, a pretty good
I have
resume
less speed
for
probably.
Gravel Guy himself. Our 6th
Oh, of course.
and final nominee for Mania Planet Player of the Year has been a long-standing figure, should I say, rather, of the Mania Planet community, competing in various different environments, competing in various different community run events. Our 6th nominee for Mania Planet Player of the Year is none other than Lars.
Yeah, who's
Yeah,
that?
also nice to
Lars?
see Lars here.
Lars?
with us.
Lars?
And Lars
Hallo?
has achieved
Hallo?
many great
Lars?
results over
Hallo?
all environments and map styles this year. First, he got
Okay,
How is Lars?
Trackmania
He is
Turbo,
only
and
on
in addition to
3rd
that,
place here. How is
dominated
he
the Trial Master
nominated?
Cup in Canyon,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
succeeded
true.
once in the Smurf Cup and
So undeserved.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Smurf Cup in Canyon and also
A nice
in,
one. I
Valley.
didn't expect that
And
one,
finally,
to be
he placed
honest.
second in the Lagoon Championship Cup,
Actually, no
which
pure
was just
stadium
held
player here.
before the new,
Oh, never mind.
Trackmania
It's
was
the
held.
RPG players.
And he also won the
Yeah,
special
okay.
XT race hosted
That
by
it's not
Riolo.
pure stadium is kind of
Besides
the
that,
point.
he is
Yeah.
also very active in
Yeah.
stadium and already
Makes sense.
won a lot of
Look
prize
at
money in the new
this
game.
map, man.
Indeed,
Yeah.
very worth pointing out. Now,
So
that
this
is
will
one
decide it.
of the 4 categories that we have
I
for players this year,
shouldn't
which is a bunch.
Get
Now,
votes there.
here we go for the
Everyone
second
else deserves it much
category
more.
up for
But
grabs, which
you
is
can
Amateur
argue with
Player of
Zuram
the Year,
and,
highlighting some of the
Gravel
players
Guy.
that
But I
performed
would put myself in front of Leon because I wouldn't have
by community members
put him
throughout the year
in Kenyan.
2020 in both TM2 Stadium
Either way,
and
I would have
New
put
Game.
Cloud over him.
Our first nominee, which is a bit of a name that you would expect to be up
Sander,
there,
me,
is,
and
well,
Morpheo.
it's the Australian Penguin,
so much
Patrick Radicic, aka Mudda.
They should get all the votes.
Yeah, Mudda has came back this year after his retirement. Maybe some of you remember his stream where he really put dismounted his penguin costume, and he was stopping streaming, but he was coming back to play for his team again, Aurora Racing in the FSL.
Oh my god, Lars.
Beating Numilabs, and he also won almost easily, and he dominated the FSL Glitch Edition.
What the fuck is this map?
Oh god, this ending.
And
no idea how to drive.
There was also another ice map in an SLC where it started with that map that also had such a a corner like that in the end,
maybe I can make it. Maybe I can make it to the combine,
which is tilted to the outside.
And guess what, guys? You all know the story. We managed to get
didn't work well for me
into
there.
the combine.
How am I already a second behind?
What? With a very good performance. And I just have to say here, it's really impressive to see that a retired player comes back with so much dedication, also a lot of discipline to his name. He changed his life schedule, and also, I mean, he's from down under. He has to change the conditions to play and also his schedule. And eventually he also won the
Australia
or C
at
Cup
8 PM
Trackmania Nations, where a lot of great players have participated.
Must be something like 3 AM, I guess.
The Full Speed League Glitch Edition, alongside as well as you, as you've been on the podcaster.
Let's just Google it.
Well, we say that he
Actually, I watched today an episode of Klein gegen Groß where the match was around getting the correct time. You had a city with a time, and then another city, and you had to guess which time it is. Or you had to know, not guess.
I know that's a bit of a
I watched it today.
That's truly what this is. With how Mudda.
So it's currently 7:48
That's a bit of an that's a bit of an aside, but yeah, you gotta get the idea of what I was going for.
Pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah. So there's one time zone, the Weihnachtsinsel.
He was dominating that. I think this describes it
but
really well.
it starts basically with Perth, which is where it's 48 right now, and it stops with Kingston 4 hours later. So there's it's already.
I guess like 90% of Australia lives in the
by
East,
just saying that, it's already giving it away.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah, then it's probably more the earlier side.
Granady.
I don't believe what happened. Oh shit, I'm so unlucky. Oh my god.
Wait. Granady?
I might not even finish.
Hello.
Amateur?
What the fuck? You can't get up the ice to the last CP if you lose your slide. I don't know why I lost my slide, but I couldn't get up. I tried so long. Fuck it. I was like for sure on a very good run.
Has only started playing Stadium 1 year ago very actively, and before that he was playing United.
No
and
way.
Was a god, can just say that, on the snow environment. And he really developed.
How did that happen?
Year, where he started learning Stadium as a main environment, and yeah, he's doing very well in that. He won the K Cup 2020. He got first in there, and also second at the Met Space Station Grand Prix. To just name some major competitions.
What am I doing?
Probably one of the forces to be reckoned with in the Trackmania space, and someone that is definitely worthy of a Grand League spot. And always something that that you notice when he posts videos is that it's not really some fancy wheel.
No, this is incredible. Why is this happening?
Why is it so blue?
It's circa 1998 Microsoft Sidewinder force feedback wheel. That's the thing that gets me.
And
that's the thing that gets me, and that's something that seems to appreciate the hustle with.
I can't.
Respect to you, Granady.
I drive everything perfect, and then my car just decides, hey, I'm just losing my grip. I was so slow. I actually released before the corner to make it safe, and then
I never knew about.
Same happened to me.
Since I'm a bit of a younger into this people, I haven't really stuck that long.
Oh my god.
But, yeah, someone who impressed me.
Like, this is so unsavable.
As soon as I saw him in upper stages of various competitions. Ladies and
Why is
gentlemen,
it just
our third
happening?
nominee for Amateur Player of the Year is Novice.
Yeah, Novice is
They
surely
also
one of
didn't
the most
change
dangerous
the name
tech
of this
players
one.
outside of
It was
Trackmania
supposed to
Grand
be
League at the
casual, I
moment.
think.
He's just collecting
Instead of
W
amateur.
hours
Amateur
random, or just
sounds
by,
so bad.
by
you know?
just playing the maps casually, and he has a very good pace. It's very
Yeah,
consistent,
but casual is
and
not
he,
that good
shows that
as
he was
well,
not
I think.
far away when he
I mean,
played against
Granady
former
won
world
like
champions
1,000
at the From
euros
Zero to
or
Hero
something
competition,
this year.
where
Is
he
that
placed
amateur?
fourth,
Yeah.
just behind,
Does it fall amateur?
Yeah, I think
Hector
so.
Cole Jr.
I mean,
And then also
I
he was
think-
participating in
obviously,
the
Are
World
you
Tech
for bigger
Tournament
kidding
at
me?
obviously
the second
before,
place,
but what
and where he
Trackmania?
was ahead of
But
Cole
Novice
Jr.
also
between
won
Massa and
quite a
Pro.
bit
He also
already
helped
with one
his
tournament
teammates
because he got
in
like second at
later
the
processes,
Centauri
of course,
Cup. They
mentioned
got like
above already.
500 euro
At the
already.
TMM
Wait, and now I
the
would have been
TCS,
first.
and he
With
also
that-
I can't believe. I can't believe what's happening on this track. This is incredible. What the heck?
For me, the image of Novice was stuck in my mind is the
In the warm-up, it looked, it just worked, and now I just lose my grip. But if it would happen somewhere in another corner, no problem. But it happens
We
there.
went ballistic in the commentary booth
focus
when we
maybe
saw that
more,
happen.
because I
in real time.
already
That was just
gave up the
wow.
win.
One of the moments of the year for sure.
Didn't
Moving on to our fourth
didn't
and
focus at all.
final
If I would just survive the end, I'm pretty sure I would have very good positions here, because the rest of the track worked all the time, but it's all for nothing. Every time it was for nothing.
To the
Then I got the rest
set
good.
To make his debut in winter
Ah,
2021.
so
The
bad.
mainstays in the mapping,
It's like the Simply Cup.
community, as well as the
But yeah,
competition himself.
one
Competition,
thing that
sorry.
I forgot
Ladies
to
and
say
gentlemen,
now, about
the fourth
amateur
and final
player,
nominee for
it's
Amateur
weird
Player of the Year
that
is
Link and Moda are in there because they are now
Link
in
did really well
TMGL.
this year.
Because
He
of that,
started
I
off
would
by
have
being
not
13th
allowed
place
them,
in
because the rule
first
was
OGL
no
Winter
TMGL players.
edition,
Yeah,
now
but-
they
showed
are
that
in
he was not
TMGL.
far away of
but again,
the
when
combine.
they performed,
That
when
was
they
really
made
his
their
first step
achievements,
outside
they
of
haven't weren't
And,
in
showed
TMGL,
us
and
that he
therefore
could also
they,
make
they
it
now
were
they
not.
are
happen
not
on some
amateur
sort of,
anymore, you
yeah,
know, they
multi-star maps.
fell
But
out
then
of
also
that.
he was participating in the
Yeah,
French
but that's the
Championship
same
that,
when you
he
say
also had
the map
covered.
was built
And
last
this
year,
was
but
the
after
first
the
World Cup.
awards,
Yeah.
So
and
just
it still
to go
counts.
into that.
Like-
Winning every step except
Little
for the
bit.
final where he lost against Gwen and Coco. And after the release of the new game, he tried out the Zerator Trackmania Cup 2020.
For the first time, I
placed
did not
himself in the top
lose
32.
my grip.
He also played really well during the PKR, where he made it into the grand final, finishing fourth. But the
Holy
most
shit,
insane performance
could have been so much
that
better.
you probably all know how,
Yeah.
that he made it into the OGL 4 combine and has qualified alongside with Moda for the next Trackmania Grand League season.
Yeah, and that particular performance in the combine, especially in the final phase, the final
Is
four,
this the
I mean, that was
Ice
just
Start SLC?
dominance. Just dominance from Link right from the outset. And, yeah, really impressive stuff. Now, moving on to our next player category, we've done Mania Plan players, we've done amateur, now we've got Standout Player of the Year. This is something a bit different. It regroups both the players that are in the top 5, as well as those in the broader part of the community that actually made themselves remarks in this year by their performances throughout the year. Our first
Now
nominee
that's
is
a
quite
weird,
directly
weird
connected to the previous category, as
thing.
it is,
Standout
well,
player
none
of the
other
year.
than
Like
Link
what?
himself,
What's
which we've
that?
already talked about a little bit
Yeah,
earlier.
this is exactly
but,
the
yeah,
problem.
something
I was
that
judged
you
there and
know
I
about.
didn't even understand what they want.
Yeah, I mean,
This
he
can literally
joined,
be everything.
I mean, I will just repeat the text again because I just certainly don't know what I have picked up. So, I mean, he was going out of his comfort zone last year. He joined Exalty in late 2019, playing more mixed-style competitions. And it was a really good competition. And
Didn't play the
he
warm-up
was
now.
also doing 13th at OGL Winter, as I've
Did you
mentioned
understand the
beforehand,
start?
And he showed that he
No.
was not far away of reaching the combine. After the first step, he played really
just
well during the
released a
French
lot.
Championship, winning. I already had that. It's rated Trackmania Cup.
Yeah, I was 14,
Yeah, I
so
think that's kind of
is
it
that
here.
three?
I've already mentioned everything
Yeah,
beforehand.
I don't know it.
See, that's the thing.
I have actually no idea how to do it.
We already introduced Link in the previous category. Why do we have to do it
Yeah.
again? But
Oh,
yeah, I agree
Oh,
that
man.
yeah, it's
Oh.
still definitely a pretty standout performance from.
How did that happen?
From well, still making it into the barely narrowly missing on.
Maxi,
the
how do you do
winter
the
season,
start?
most notably of OGL, to make it into the combine
I
and
just
actually
release a
qualify
lot
for the
and
top
wait
5 on the
until
second
my
try, which
car
is
becomes
definitely
like grip
something
so I
to be commended.
can...
Second nomination of the year is well,
it's
someone
of course
actually from the
also
top flight, and
possible.
actually one of the rookie
What do you
entries in
do?
the top flight.
I do a full drift.
Competitive
Does
scene,
not feel
as I
good.
say the Track Mania
Yeah.
Grand League, as I try to avoid to say the TMGL word. Well, TMGL word, it's not banned or whatever, but you know, you kind of know where I'm
But
going.
I don't want to
you know.
change it now.
I kind of get long-winded sometimes. I'm really sorry.
Maybe I
about
have to though.
The second nominee
I was
is a member of the Rompige Gameplay Club. For
Well,
those
I'm
of you that,
first
do
with that,
understand the French,
so-
Yeah,
it's
I'm
none other
17th. So.
than Gwen.
Now I'm third. Lol.
Yeah, I think this is no surprise for anyone in here that Gwen is one of the standout players, and yeah, he performed outstandingly well this year. This was really the year for Gwen in Trackmania. He made a statement.
You lose so much in the end, Maxi.
The year by dominating
Yeah,
the Open Grand League,
do you also
marching through the
full speed or do you
combine
drift?
alongside with Afi, and thus earning his
By
spot
which of
in
these
the
corners?
Trackmania Grand League. But yeah,
the
that
first
was
one,
just the start
very
of
good
that,
own.
of his
Naja, I said I full
Continued
drift and I was
to
7/10 behind in the
by
first
winning the
CP.
French Championship, Spring Edition, as well as winning the game with Duke.
Yeah, it was bad.
Again with Afi. The young French player still impresses the public for the whole year, especially by winning the Zerator Cup 2020 in front of the 4-times winner Carl Jr., who had to settle down in second position. Gwen has shown an impressive composure and maturity in high-pressure situations. And at the end of the year, Gwen had no plans on hitting brakes, and as he's won Twitch Rivals, placed second in Trackmania Grand League, got first in the Time Chasers Trackmania Challenger Series with Afi, and claimed victory at SlowLearningCup Cup and won the most Cup of the Day events. He's really showing that he has truly mastered the game, and the 16-year-old Frenchman still has a lot of victories to claim in his Trackmania career. But he has
Yeah, Hish's in the end Standout is basically just a mix between amateur and pro player. The initial thing was that we should combine most improved player together with best performance, best match performance, but this makes no sense.
It's Mudda. We've already talked about him a little bit earlier.
Oh,
yeah, I'm just gonna repeat it again. Maybe some people have joined in, so they have missed it. But Mudda has come back this year after his retirement. Maybe
I would
guys
think there's one more.
Emotional stream or his emotional, retirement video on Twitter or anywhere else. But he was coming back and joined Aurora Racing in the FSL, where they finished at first place by beating Numelovs. He has also won almost easily the FSL Village Edition, an event that was meant to replace the GA. When the new game came out, he decided
we wouldn't have been
to try
here.
the OGL
Who would
to
have
see
won?
where he could go. He trained a lot.
Yeah, the leader of the season, SLC season, Puleto.
Combine, and thus qualified.
But yeah, it's
and
over.
thus
Nice, GG.
qualified to the Trackmania Grand League with a very good performance.
You have to stay here until he
that a
screenshotted
retired
the
player
results.
comes back with so much dedication.
The ice map
Even
ruined
changed his
everything,
life schedule to
basically.
be, in
So
the
we
band
basically
position
finished the
play,
cup and the Trackmania Awards show is still running.
A or C, the all-round championship. Where
Unbelievable.
Was ist denn das,
have
Granady?
participate
Was du da gepostet hast?
Our fourth and final nominee is another returnee. This is becoming a bit of a meme at this point. Let's face it, we can't stray away from the truth.
Wow.
But yeah, our fourth nominee for Standout Player of the Year is none other than Granady, the wheel player from Germany.
So
The text is by myself, Granady.
got nominated
Rated
for
10 of 10, please.
performances in United. In 2020, he moved to Stadium and developed throughout the whole year. He showed that one can be competitive with this environment with a steering wheel.
This is almost the same as amateur player of the year.
Okay.
That is crazy. He
Yeah,
earned
drug
the
fury.
especially the victory in K-Cup with 500 euros stands out. Additionally, he took part in the OGL and was not far from reaching the next Trackmania Grand League season due to a sick performance in the Combine. And guys, I will tell you, next season this guy will come back even stronger and he will be a candidate.
This is by Turbo.
Just my prediction.
This prediction.
Alrighty. 16 categories done.
Full jinx.
One to go. And it's the big one.
Actually,
Pro Player of the Year. We're grouping those of the by pro player. Our definition is those that have a contract binding them to an organization that is currently playing in the Trackmania Grand League in the top
To this map here.
and currently play the game for a living. So, first nominee in this list has also been a nominee in the Standout Player of the Year. award, in the Standout Player of the Year award, and yeah, it's pretty as we said. We've already talked about him a lot of times. It's Gwen as our first nominee. The year of Gwen, starting off in January with the combine, marching into the Granady, taking
Are
the
you
Granady
kidding?
Fall regular season
How
first
do you-
place, second place narrowly
How do you wanna get up there?
to a double through to Carl Jr. in the playoffs, taking victory in the ZRT Cup, ending the 4-year winning streak that the Canadian was on, winning Twitch Rivals, winning the Trackmania Time Chaser Trackmania Challenge Series, victory at the SlowLearning Cup, and winning most of the Cup of the Day events ever since it was introduced. That's actually our first nominee for Player of the Year. Indeed, is Gwen. Second name, it's a name that you've expected to actually come out at the top in this Pro Player of the Year award, and without him being nominated, of course, it would.
In the awards, I was basically nominated, or could have been only nominated in amateur.
None other than.
Was I actually nominated there? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, who would have guessed it?
No.
Carl Jr. is on this list, and he was reaching the
It
final.
was
Every main
Link
competition
probably
was
who got it
participating in this year, and
instead of you.
definitely belongs on this list. The Canadian powerhouse won both Trackmania Grand League playoffs this year and showed his dominance on multi-style.
Ja, Amateur ist wie die
And
weird
also,
word.
his origin is Tech, who remembers, and he did forget how to play that by finishing second in the From Zero to Hero Tech competition and third at the Centauri Solo Tech tournament. In the Zerator Trackmania Cup 2020, he got second place just behind Gwen.
Third nomination for